He was making six figures, and he was broke. Not eviction notice broke, not lights off broke. 48 hours after every paycheck, the money was already gone. He couldn't tell me where it went. He genuinely could not account for it. And that mystery, that monthly vanishing act, was costing him everything. My friend Marcus graduated with honors, promoted twice in 3 years. He was the person in the room everyone looked at and thought, he's gonna be fine. On paper, he was. His income put him in the top 15% of earners in his city. His bank balance told a completely different story. We sat down together one Saturday morning with 12 months of bank statements spread across his kitchen table. I told him, we're not here to feel guilty. We're here to see clearly. Guilt changes nothing. Clarity changes everything. What we found over the next 2 hours stunned him. It wasn't one catastrophic decision that had been bleeding him. It wasn't a bad investment or a sudden expense. It was 1,000 small ones, made automatically, repeatedly, without a single moment of conscious choice. Decisions that look like living, but were actually leaking. $7 a day on specialty coffee, 5 mornings a week, 4 streaming subscriptions, 2 of which Marcus hadn't opened since the previous February. Lunch out 4 times a week when the office kitchen was 3 feet from his desk. A bi-weekly treat every payday, because he felt he'd earned it. None of it felt like spending. All of it felt like living. Here is what nobody tells you about lifestyle inflation. It doesn't arrive as a flood. It arrives as a drip. And drips don't trigger alarm systems. Drips don't create the emotional urgency that makes people change behavior. Drips just continue, quietly, consistently, expensively, until one day you're staring at a bank statement and asking the same question Marcus asked every month. Where did it all go? We live in an economy that has perfected the art of making consumption feel like self-care. Subscription models, one-click purchasing, same-day delivery, curated social media feeds that make luxury look like the baseline. These are not conveniences. They are systems engineered with precision to extract your money before your awareness can catch up to your wallet. The gap between earning and keeping has never been wider, and that gap has a design team. Kim Rohn said that we must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The lifestyle leak is the regret path. It is comfortable in the present and devastating in the future. And by the time the devastation arrives, the small daily decisions that created it are completely invisible, buried under years of, that's just how I spend. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. Solomon, the wealthiest man who ever lived, is not giving financial advice here. He is describing a law, the same kind of law as gravity. Diligence leads to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Not sometimes, not for certain personality types, as surely. This is a fixed outcome, attached to a fixed behavior. The Hebrew word translated diligent is sharutz, meaning sharp, incised, decisive. It describes a person who cuts through life with intention, not someone who drifts, not someone who hopes things work out. Someone who has applied deliberate thought to where their energy, attention, and resources are directed, and who sustains that direction over time. Sharutz is not a personality trait. It is a practice. The word translated haste is atz, meaning to press, to squeeze, to rush toward immediate sensation without regard for what comes after. Solomon is describing someone who squeezes pleasure out of the present moment at the expense of the future moment. Every impulsive purchase, every unconscious subscription, every automatic spend is an act of atz, extracting today at the cost of tomorrow. A kingdom economy operates on a foundational principle that most financial education ignores completely. You do not own what you manage. You are accountable for it. The money in your account is not yours to consume. It is yours to steward. The distinction sounds theological, but it produces very different financial outcomes. An owner asks, what can I spend this on? A steward asks, what is the most faithful use of what I've been entrusted with? The parable of the talents in Matthew 25 is not a metaphor about spiritual giftings. Read it carefully. The master gives actual money, 1 talent, 2 talents, 5 talents. He goes away. He returns. He evaluates. The servants who multiplied what they received are commended and given more. The servant who buried what he received, who simply preserved it, made no productive decision, loses even what he had. This is the biblical economics of awareness. Now, let us talk about the actual cost of this. Because faith without specificity is still just hope, and hope without a number is just a feeling. $7 a day, 5 days a week, is $35 per week. $35 per week is $1,052 per month. $1,052 per month is $1,824 per year. From one habit, one automatic, unconsidered daily habit. Now place that $1,824 into a low-cost index fund at a 10% average annual return. Leave it alone for 20 years. Do not touch it. Do not move it when the market dips. Do not rebalance out of fear. Just leave it. In 20 years, that single habit, that $7 coffee, has compounded into $114,000 gone from coffee. But Marcus's leak was not just the coffee. When we added the unused subscriptions, the lunch runs, the impulse treats, the total monthly unconscious spending was $325. $325 per month invested at 10% over 25 years is $390,000. Not inherited, not won, not hustled, just stopped leaking, redirected, and left alone to grow. Marcus was not bad with money. He was unaware of money. And in personal finance, those two things produce mathematically identical results. Ignorance and negligence arrive at the same destination. The only difference is that awareness is curable in an afternoon. All it requires is the willingness to look. So here is the protocol. Step 1. Pull your last 30 days of bank and card statements. All of them. Every account. In one place. This is not optional. You cannot fix what you have not seen. Step 2. Spend 30 minutes categorizing every transaction. Fixed, variable, discretionary. Use a spreadsheet. Use paper. Use whatever you will actually complete. The format does not matter. The act of seeing matters. Step 3. Identify the 5 smallest recurring discretionary items. You did not consciously choose this month. You simply allowed. Then, make a decision about each one. Keep it intentionally, cut it deliberately, or right-size it. Not guilt, decision. The difference between a steward and a consumer is not discipline in the dramatic sense. It is the habit of applying a moment of conscious thought before money moves. Marcus went through his statements that week, found $310 in monthly leaks, canceled 2 subscriptions, started making coffee at home 4 mornings out of 5, brought lunch 3 days a week. Small shifts, no dramatic life overhaul. He moved that $310 into a retirement account the following Monday and set up an automatic monthly transfer so he would never have to make that decision again. 11 years later, with no promotions beyond the ones he had already received, no side hustle, no inheritance, Marcus's retirement account crossed the $200,000 mark. He did not get lucky. He did not discover a secret. He stopped a leak and he left the redirected water alone long enough for it to fill something. The plans of the diligent lead to profit. That is not a promise, it is a law. And the first act of diligence is never a bold investment or a dramatic income increase. The first act of diligence is looking. So pull your statements. Name the leaks. Start with the smallest one. That is where the shower oats begins. If this message hit different, if something in your spirit just shifted, don't let it stop there. Hit like. Not for the numbers, but because there's a steward somewhere still scrolling who needs to find this. Share it with the one who's been praying for breakthrough but hasn't had the word broken down with receipts yet. And subscribe to Bible Rebooted. We're not here to make you feel good. We're here to hand you the truth and show you what to do with it. Manage it like it was never yours. It's your boy Dave Solara, signing out. Like, subscribe, and stream music.